To start, I'm going to use my main color. So the main color of my dinosaur is going to be blue, and then I'm going to be using the green for the accent color on his head. So go ahead and start with your 4.0 millimeter hook or a G hook, and we are going to start the head by making a magic ring. Chain up 2 and make 10 half double crochets into the ring. Now that we have 10 half double crochets, go ahead and pull this little tail tight to tighten the circle and join to the first half double crochet. So that chain 2 in the beginning will not count as a stitch. Okay, so we are going to continue to make the circle bigger. So chain 2 and make 2 half double crochets into each stitch around. So the first round has 10 stitches, and then for this round 2 we will have 20 stitches once we are done, since we are making 2 half double crochets into each stitch around. Once we finish round 2, go ahead and join to the first half double crochet, chain 2. In that first stitch, we're going to make 2 half double crochets, 1, 2, and in the next we're going to make 1 half double crochet, and we're going to repeat that pattern 6 more times. So 2 half double crochets in one, and then 1 half double crochet in the next. We repeated that 1 time, 2, and then 1. That was our second time repeating it. 2, and then 1. That was our third time. 2, 1. That was our fourth time repeating that. 2 half double crochets, and then 1. It's our fifth time. 2 and 1. So that was our sixth time repeating that pattern. We should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stitches untouched. So for round 4, we're going to chain up 2 and turn our work, and we're going to work just on that round 3. So in that very first stitch, this is where we're going to work our next stitches. The chain 2 does not count as a stitch. So make 2 double crochets in that same stitch, chain 1, and make 2 more double crochets in that same stitch. Now we're going to skip 1 stitch, and then in the next stitch we're going to slip stitch. And that is going to be the pattern that we are going to continue around the top of the head. So we're going to skip 1, and then we are going to make 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets back in that same space, skip 1, slip stitch, skip 1, 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 more double crochets into that same space, skip 1, slip stitch. So go ahead and continue to do this around the head. So the very last stitch should end with the 2 double crochets, chain 1, and 2 more double crochets. So here we are going to change colors. We are going to use our second color to do the edging of the top of the head. So I am changing to green. That is my second color. I'm going to chain 1, turn my work so I can work back onto the top of the head. And now I am going to single crochet, and then here is a chain 1 space from the previous row. In those chain 1 spaces, I'm going to make a single crochet, chain 2, and another single crochet in that same space. And that's what I'm going to do all the way around. So I'm just going to make single crochets until I get to those chain 1 spaces so I can make the little picot stitches. So there is 4 single crochets between each of the chain 1 spaces. So I single crocheted. Here's my next chain 1 space. So in there I'm going to make a single crochet, chain 2, and a single crochet back into there. Single crochet until I get to the next chain 1 space. Here's my chain 1 space, single crochet, chain 2, single crochet. Okay, so that's what we're going to do for these remaining stitches around the head. Okay, so once we get to the end, I like to just slip stitch on the side of the last single crochet and then fasten off. Leave a tail because you will want a tail to sew the head onto your piece of crochet. And to finish the head, we will want to make his face. So this is the back where the tail end for the magic ring is, and this is the front of the face. So this is how it should be looking. We will want safety eyes, or you can substitute with black yarn and sew your eyes on. So I'm going to put the eyes there. You will want the backings as well. Since this is a sample, I'm not going to attach them because once you attach them, they are on there basically for good. So make sure you arrange them how you like them before you secure them with these backings. Next, we're going to make the horns. So we will want 2 horns on top and then 1 horn for the nose. So go ahead and grab some white yarn, and also we are going to grab a smaller hook. I am using a 2.75 millimeter or a C hook. So to begin, we are going to make a slip knot, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, single crochet into the second chain from the hook, and then single crochet into the next chain, which should also be the last chain. Chain 1, turn your work, and then we are going to single crochet those 2 stitches together. So pull up a loop, insert into the second stitch, pull up a loop. You should have 3 stitches on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 3, and then fasten off. So these horns are fairly small. Leave enough excess to sew these onto the face. So you will want to make 2 of these horns. These will be the horns that go on top. So here's my other one I have already made. So you will position them like so. Oops. So you will want to sew them on roughly about here. And then next we're going to make the horn for the nose. So we're going to start with a slip knot, chain 3, and then we are just going to single crochet in that second chain from the hook, and then the last chain from the hook, and then fasten off. Again, make sure to leave enough of a tail to sew this on. So this is what it looks like. Turn it like this so your 2 tails are on the bottom, and you should see that you have a rectangle. So that will be for the nose right here. So go ahead and sew these horns onto your face, and then we will start the body. For the body, we're back to our main color and our 4.0mm hook or our G hook. And we are going to start with a slip knot and chain 16. Once we have our 16 chains, we are going to make half double crochets across, starting in the 3rd chain from the hook. 1, 2, 3. So we're just going to make half double crochets all the way to the end of the chain. Once you have that, chain up 2, turn your work, and half double crochet across again. Keep making rows of half double crochets until you have 4 rows total. So this is what the start of the body looks like. Once we have 4 rows total, we are going to start the legs. So turn your work, chain 2, and we will make half double crochets in the next 4 stitches. So this first chain 2 in the beginning will not count as a stitch. We're going to work in that very first stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn your work, chain 2. We're going to work back this way in those 4 stitches, all half double crochets. So there's 4 half double crochets across. Turn your work, chain 2, and we're going to go back and make half double crochets again in those 4 stitches. That completes one leg, so we're going to chain 1 and we are going to slip stitch back up this leg so we could get back to the body. So turn your work 90 degrees and just slip stitch back to the body. So right here is the space where the leg meets the body. This was our 4th stitch in. That is where we want to end up. Okay, and then we are going to slip stitch across the body 7 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we should have 3 stitches left. If you count the space where our slip stitch is in, that's 4. So chain 1, half double crochet into that same space, and then half double crochet into the next 3. That will give us 4 stitches for the leg, and that's row 1 of the leg. So chain 2, turn your work, half double crochet across, that's row 2 of our leg, chain 2, turn your work, and then this will be the last row of our leg. We will just half double crochet across. Once we have our leg finished, chain up 1, and we are going to slip stitch up the leg and then up the side of the body, but we will be leaving 2 rows unslip stitch. So we are going to slip stitch up to about here. So here's 2 rows. We're gonna keep those untouched. So go ahead and slip stitch all the way up until you get to that point where there's only 2 rows left. So here, there's those 2 rows untouched, and now we are going to make the tail. So chain 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then we are going to single crochet into the 2nd chain from the hook. We're going to half double crochet into the next 2. So half double crochet, and then we are going to make double crochets in the next 2. Double crochet, and then we should have 1 stitch left where we will make a treble crochet. So single crochet, 2 half double crochets, 2 double crochets, and then 1 treble. And we are going to connect the tail to this top corner of the body, so it is connected. So we join that with a slip stitch. So there's his tail. And then all we have to do yet is work across the back. So we are going to work a single crochet into the next 2 stitches. So single crochet in one, single crochet in the next. Then we are going to work half double crochets in the next 2. Half double crochet in one, half double crochet in the next. And then we will make 4 double crochets in the next 4 stitches. There's 1 double crochet in the next, 2 double crochet in the next, there's 3, and there's 4. So 1 double crochet in the next 4 stitches. Then we will do half double crochets in the next 2 stitches. and then single crochet into the next 2 stitches. 1, 2. We should have 2 slip stitches remaining, or I'm sorry, 2 stitches remaining, and we will slip stitch in those 2 and then fasten off and leave a tail to sew the body onto your piece of crochet when you're ready. So here is the body, and here's the head. I sewed the horns on and I wove in all the ends, so that's how it looks. When you sew this onto your piece of crochet, you want to sew this down first and then sew the head onto your piece of crochet, and then of course where it overlaps you could sew it onto the body. That is how I did it. Of course, if you want to, you can sew this onto the head, or you could sew the head onto the body first if you want to. The head kind of just goes at an angle and fits on the body like that. So that is how you crochet a dinosaur Triceratops. I hope this video was helpful for you, and thanks so much for crocheting along.